and welcome to the Healthy Half Hour podcast. We are your hosts, Richard and Karen&nbsp.
The Healthy Half Hour podcast is your resource for all things healthy, and we will be discussing how to make nutrition, fitness and lifestyle choices work for you.
We will be sharing our own personal insights along with research gathered from working in the health and fitness industry for the past 10 years.
Our show is brought to you by the 7 Day Shred, which can be found at 7dayshred.com, and please feel free to visit our podcast website, which can be found at healthyhalfhourpodcast.com.
And now on to today's show.
Hi everybody. So we've been asked before, why don't we do video podcasts? And
We don't want to frighten anybody.
No, we don't really. But this is going to be a really short one, but obviously this is our first video one. We've done tons of presentations together, but I mean, I guess
Into a crowd rather than the camera.
Yeah. So like I say, we're keeping this one really short. And we got asked a few days ago, what is the difference between paleo and the keto diet? And we thought, oh, okay, well, we'll just do a quick 10-ish minute video podcast just to explain a little bit about the difference between the two. But one of the things that the reason that we want to address paleo and keto together is that a lot of people struggle to actually go keto off the bat. So we always advise people, okay, let's do the whole food approach, go paleo, and then transition into keto. And so we just wanted to cover, I guess, didn't we, just the difference between the two. And there isn't actually a huge difference. I think it's more the macros more than anything, isn't it, really?
It is. It's basically a whole food diet, like we've always promoted. And yeah, there's just some little nuances in there that kind of make one different to the other. And again, the biggest difference really is the fat content. The fat content in a keto diet is right up there, and a paleo diet not so much. So again, if you're kind of looking at macro ratios, the ideal keto diet is probably around 70% fat, probably around the 20% protein end, and probably around the 10% for the carbohydrates. Looking at a paleo diet, those numbers really aren't so strict. It depends on what your goals are. It's just the carbohydrates are higher, and obviously, like we spoke about on other podcasts before, you've got that relationship between the two fuel sources. So you've got fat as a fuel source and carbs as a fuel source.
And the carb source really in paleo is slightly different, starchier carbohydrates.
Yes, it can be.
Yeah.
There's more bandwidth on it. There's more latitude, more things you can do. And again, you don't want to have too high substrates of fuel in there together. So bailing that protein at around 30%, and then the other 70%, you kind of divvy up between the carbs. So you either go slightly higher carb or you go higher fat on that. But like Karen says, more often than not, it's the actual carb quality that kind of sets paleo apart from kind of the normal diet in itself.
And like we said, there's just slight differences with the food choices between paleo and keto. So you're just going to go through a list of foods, and I'm just going to give a thumbs up or thumbs down with regard to...
Yes, we've got props.
Yes, we have props. I printed off because I thought this is our first video. We have to look reasonably organised and no professional.
People don't expect professionals.
No, okay, it's us. You know us. So
so yeah, we're just going to list out. Karen's printed off a list of foods. So we're just going to look at those foods, and it's either a yay or a nay. So beans, keto, paleo, still no. Dairy foods, keto. So yes.
Yep.
Paleo foods, no. Eggs. So yes on both counts. So fats and oils, it's a yes.
On both counts.
Same with fish. Grains, our survey said, for both of them. So no on the grains. High sugar fruits with keto is a no. With paleo, yes, can be a yes.
Yes.
Like honey, maple syrups, things like that. So on a keto, it's a big no. Paleo, yes, they will slot in there. Leafy greens as a big resounding yes, yes, and yes across the two.
I have to remember which card I've got.
Legumes, basically, that's a no for both. Low sugar fruits as opposed to the high, yes and yes.
Mm-hmm.
Meats, yes. Yes and yes for both of them. Don't get excited with those cards. Wow, it's just all too much for you. Nuts is yes on both counts. Poultry, which again, I guess it's meat, yes please. Refined carbs, our survey said no, not on both counts again. Same with refined sugars, it's a no. And again, starchy vegetables, so it's a no for keto and a yay for paleo. Mm-hmm. So again, it's not that you can't eat carbs on a paleo diet, and not that you can't eat carbs on a keto diet. It's just the starchiness of those carbs. So again, keto is more leafy greens, and paleo is more
tomatoes and things like broccoli, cauliflower, really low starch vegetables on a keto diet. And again, it depends on what your goal is as well. And even with the paleo diet, if weight loss is your goal, then you might want to, kind of like have less starchy vegetables. And the list that we printed off, I'm actually going to do like a thumbs up, thumbs down kind of like list and get you to put it on the show notes, just so that you can see that there isn't, like I say, a huge difference between them, but it's that macronutrient ratios.
Yeah, it is. It's the keto again is the higher fat, because what you're trying to produce in the body is the body to produce ketones. And for it to produce ketones, the tendency is it's pretty much sugars banned. Because what sugar will do, sugar's a fuel substrate, and it will stop that keto production because your body can run on the sugar. So, and again, paleo isn't looking for that. So really the keto is to keep those sugars low, to force the body into making ketones and use those as energy.
And one of the things that you've got to realize as well, if you're going to keto or transitioning, is a lot of people still have those sweet cravings and they're looking for keto desserts, but they tend to use a lot of artificial sugars in a keto diet. So I don't know, I think this is something that we might have to tackle on another podcast, or like even a video podcast.
Now you're getting used to the sight of it.
Yeah. Some of those artificial sugars are not nice things. They're pretty nasty. And I don't know if we've actually covered...
sugar alcohols.
No, sugar alcohols. So it's something that we're not going to cover on this little video, but I think something that we should, because...
we'll pick that up at some point. The next podcast, which will be a longer one, regular time, 30 minutes, is...
Not a video. Or is it? There might be a big surprise.
Look at you getting all excited on us. I forgot what the subject is now. The cost of getting lean. So that's what we're going to look at next time, the cost of getting lean. See you then.
That's all we have time for right now, but we do hope that you join us for our next show. And if you want to contribute to an upcoming show by suggesting a topic that you would like us to discuss in more detail, then hop over to our website, healthyhalfhourpodcast.com, subscribe to our podcast and submit your suggestions. The Healthy Half Hour Podcast was brought to you by the 7 Day Shred, and don't forget to share our details with your friends and review our show. Until next time, thanks for listening.